All right. I'm going to get a break in between the first live and the second live, so give me a minute. Okay. We're going to create some emotional regulation with an inhale and an exhale and an inhale, then an exhale and an inhale and an exhale. That's going to happen on my descending count of 3, 2, 1. So we'll get this neuro party started. 3, 2, 1. Good morning, Stacy. Let me turn this around. All right. Good morning. I am the amazing Dr. Donna Thomas-Rodgers, daughter of Leslie Darnell Thomas, granddaughter of Arthur Jethro Evelyn II, and great-granddaughter of Levi Thomas. Welcome to your morning mental workout. Today's topic is principle number 33, visualize your goals, and we are at day number 761 of consecutive lives. Additionally, my lives are sponsored by the elements H2O. And when I say drink water, you are going to, I'm going to say drink water. And then you're going to say drink water. And then you're going to type it in the chat and actually drink water. Now, if you missed TikTok's live this morning, that was got banned forever from having a TikTok live. Because I went hamburger, sirloin, beef tenderloin. Yeah, that part. So I got a notification, end your live in 1 minute or you're going to be banned forever. So I had to think about y'all and I ended the live and I went back and I did the lesson. But it was interesting because what I discovered was I was having a conversation with my offspring yesterday on the way to an appointment. And I was saying, you know what? I just don't feel like I'm still kind of chilling. Like I'm not in full real leader mode. Good morning, Regina. And I said, I don't know what it is, but it's just something. And she said, she explained to me my life existence and how much I had to endure and all these traumatic things. I'm not going to say what they are over here because I don't want to get a message from YouTube, but it's bad. And so then I thought about my father's death and how he died in a squatter's house and he was on a couch for 3 days before they even knew that he was dead. He didn't have an address and he had to get buried in his daddy's suit, and just all these things just released. And it started with someone saying, why you yelling, but I need this. And so because that person said, why you yelling? I said, why ain't you yelling? Why are you not mad? Anger means something needs to change. Good morning, Daisy and Monique. I'm telling them about TikTok Live. And so it was a very cathartic moment for me, and it was healing for me in that moment because I've been trying to figure out why. That's what it was. Why am I still playing this small? Now, y'all are like, Dr. Donna, you're not playing this small, but I am. Because everywhere I go, I'm still making it seem like real leadership is optional. Like it's Walmart versus Target. Like it's CVS versus Walgreens. Like it's, I don't know, something else. Like it's decaf versus caffeinated. But it's the only thing that's going to change humanity. It's the only thing. And I am bringing it to people to say, I'm not telling you to stop worshiping who you worship. I'm not telling you to stop love who you love. I'm telling you, in order, you think about that sometimes. What is that, Daisy? In order for you to be extraordinary in your everyday life, you need the principles of real leadership. You need to know how your brain functions so you can become high functioning. And I have been, and I couldn't figure out what was the hezi. If Jerry gets on here, what was I hesitating from? It's that background. It literally is that dysregulated background. It is that. It is that growing up in the hood. It is that addicts in your household. That is the hesitation. Because if you are, why you keep it so small? Because of that background. Because of that background. It's horrible. It's a horrible, horrible, horrible. It's like, imagine if I became an elected official. By the time they finish digging, remember they used to say, if you dig long enough, and I think, Virginia, you and I had this conversation, you're going to hit China. When they start digging up my stuff, even though I have said it, and stuff from the military that I can't say, but it's bad. so bad. It's so bad. I mean, just stuff, just like you think it's normal. You really do. And people don't understand that. Just like if you watch the movie Goodfellas, and the wife was like, it's just normal. Everybody around you, it's just normal. It's normal, and you don't know anything differently. And it just keeps happening, and compounding interest and compounding interest and compounding interest. And that's holding me back because I say it, but I don't say all of it. It's the highest level. It's the antithesis of emotional dysregulation. It don't get no worse than that unless you were in prison. I mean, what kids go down the street to look at the dead body in the funeral home because it's a drive-through funeral home? Who does that? Like y'all, if you saw Boys in the Hood, they saw that body as they was walking past that. We literally, Wilhelmina would call us and say it's the body. And we would go down there and look at the body through the drive-through for entertainment. That's sick. That's not something you should be doing in elementary school. That's not cool. That's not cool. Not at all. It's not. And so the shame of the dysregulation. So you experience all this dysregulation, and then people want to shame you for something that you were born into. Your daddy walking down the street drunk, fighting the air is not something that you want to keep experiencing throughout the summer. Just as he walks past the house on the other side of the street on purpose. So it's all of that. And it's just like, you know what? I don't really want people digging that stuff up. I don't want people digging that stuff up. What's up, Bridget? So that's what it is. And so I'm like, yep, that happened, but let's focus on this. And it's so terrible and awful. You got a story for everything. I mean, I'm like, oh, if that was in Detroit, people be stealing that. If that was this, that was that, that was that. And it's there at every level of my life. So that's what the issue is. So being told, just like the person like, why you yelling? So you got that, then you're an African-American woman. And so now you're mean, you're angry. You got all these stereotypes that you got to live and explain and do all this stuff. So it's all this stuff. And I just want to wake up and be me. I just want to wake up every day and do me. If everybody's telling you, no, that's a bad idea. No, you can't do that. No, you can't do that. And then here I come with this thing that I developed myself, my whole self, by myself. But on that lie that I'm grateful for, and I know where the TikTok line is now, and I'm grateful for that person saying you're yelling. I'm saying in the midst of all of that dysregulation, I was regulated. I kept going. That's got to be worth something in the world. That no matter what was happening, I still kept doing extraordinary things in my everyday life. And I wasn't ignoring it. It was there. You can't ignore it, but you can't let it stop you. You can't let that stop you from being extraordinary. And that's why. And part of it needed to happen. So people say, you understand. And you understand. But I got to start giving myself credit for surviving it and excelling in it. Instead of just saying, yeah, that was happening. No. Because when the person came in our house and robbed us with pew-pew, to my head, I went, and that's the same summer that my father died. I went to college and got my highest GPA, graduated, went back and got a 5 at camp and got a commission in the Army as an MP. So when I say, and I said this on the other live, when I say I was the only female, African-American female MP in the United States Army in year group 96, it was me. It was me after that year. Me. People take a gap year. People need time off. Somebody come to your house and take your stuff and they put a pew-pew to your head. And then you go back and get a 3.5 and graduate with honors and then go do all of that. And then I'm supposed to feel like, oh, I went to Eastern Michigan University. That ain't no Ivy. I'm the only person of all my friends that graduated from college. We all started, we 52, and none of them finished. And I'm walking around like that ain't nothing. Yes, it is. Because Nola said it, you got to look at your starting point. She had to tell me your parents don't have degrees. You are the first person. Your sister got an associate's first. She had to go to JUCO in order to get to a 4-year university. You got accepted to Michigan State University and switched. and still finished at a D1 school in the midst of that. So I have to look at mine, because when people see me, they start comparing me to what they see. But you, as Tamla Man said, y'all looking at my now, you don't know my then. You don't know what the fuck I had to do to graduate from college. I had to eat Trix cereal for 3 weeks and rub the roof of my mouth raw. I had to get up every day at 5 o'clock in the morning and go to PT and then go to class. I had to take all my classes in fall and winter because ROTC didn't pay for summer school. All of it. And so I'm not walking around like me, because motherfuckers been saying my shit is small to begin with. How? 347 out of 602 graduating class, and it's only 6 of us with doctorates, and I'm one of those people. But what school did you go to? Dr. Donna? That's what doesn't matter. Because that's what happens. It's here come these people, these dysregulated motherfuckers want to minimize it. And so that's why it's small. Because I didn't go to the right school. I couldn't fucking read. If you get a 17 on the ACT, you not getting into Harvard. It's not happening. If you got to take the GRE 4 times to work to become Dr. Donna, yeah, you gonna call me Dr. Donna. Hell fuck yeah, you are. Absolutely. Everybody told me I was raised in NOLA wrong. Everybody. So the small is coming from this dysregulation. Ooh, Jared almost cursed. Thank you, Jared. So that's where it's coming from, Daisy. That's where it's coming from. These dysregulated people making it seem like what I'm doing is not extraordinary. But I read every and it's so hard for me not to respond to y'all. But I know it's going to be thousands of people, and I got it. I can't do it. But I'm telling you, every day when I read y'all thing, I almost cry. I almost cry. Because I'm like, finally, people are doing it how I said get it done. They're not trying to make it Burger King and make it their way. They're finally doing it as the instructions said. And now you're getting the results that you need to get. Finally. 12 years and finally. And I got to blow my nose. Give me a second. Doggone air quality is ridiculous. Finally. So, Daisy, I'm playing it small because motherfuckers been treating me small. Ooh. I promise we're going to get to the lesson. I'm playing it small because I'm being treated small. I'm being treated unfairly. I'm being treated like I'm inferior, like I'm some second-class ass citizen. That's why. I said it on the thing, on the TikTok live. Nobody refers to African-American women as remarkable. Oh, it's the beauty of her. You got to be in these certain industries. As soon as you step out of that, Nola said you're supposed to be, first of all, either incarcerated, multiple baby daddies, some kids, or you're supposed to be working at 7-Eleven or in and out of somewhere based upon where you started at. You ain't even supposed to be in this zip code that you live in. Nobody ever thought anything grand was going to come from you. That's why they got such a hard time calling you Dr. Donna, because they think you ain't shit. That's why. Ain't nobody ever said they believe in me. I ain't heard not damn motherfucker ever in my life, and I'm 52 years old, besides my own child, say I believe in you. I believe that you could be a bad mofo. That's why it's small, because if you ain't never heard it, and those stories make me so mad. I see the sports people, and I had a coach that believed in me. I had a coach that came and picked me up every day and said, come to practice. I had a mentor that I ain't had none of that shit. I wished I raised my kids like you raised Nola's. I'm correcting my bad parenting daily. Thank you for your teaching. Thank you, Jared. Yes, they call where you come from Detroit. You made it. I definitely believe in you. Thank you. So that's why. But I'm not small. I'm so not small. So I'm so grateful for that young lady that said that. And I know it's like, how are you going to be grateful to somebody that you cussed out? Because I can be. Because it was a turning point for me. It was a turning point for me because my whole life, people didn't believe in me and they thought I wasn't going to be shit. I told you I came across 2 twins, Deshaun and Shane. And we were downtown. Zappos was having their vendor event. And they were shocked as shit to see me. They was like, what you doing here? I said, I'm here like y'all here. And they said, Dr. Donna, damn, when you get that done? I got more degrees than y'all. I don't care if y'all were Evans Scholars and y'all went to University of Michigan. Y'all stopped at master's degree. So we are not the same. We are not the same. Yes. So that's the problem. That's why people can't call me Dr. Donna. That's why people don't believe in my shit. Because it's where they had me in their heads. And so I have been accomplishing all these things in spite of all that. But that's been back there. That whole background. Well, what school? What school did you go to? Oh, are you married? Oh, are you divorced? So all these things that this dysregulated group of people, like they going to be able to judge me. Start where I started and see if you end where I ended, where I'm at. Let's see. Well, all that taking place if you end up here. No Faustian bargains, as Cat Williams says, booty hole intact the right way, and still not getting credit from anybody other than my offspring. You know, they did it. And then they go, well, you know, I ain't had no fucking help. Ain't nobody helped with no homework assignments. We didn't do the homework hotline. We didn't do none of that shit. Drop off, pick up, that's me. That's me. The whole thing. Every homework assignment, except for 2 science projects, me. Everything. But we want to talk about it. So, Daisy, the answer is because motherfuckers treated me small the entire time. They gave me less shit. They made sure I didn't have all the right shit. You see all those shows all the time, the movies where African Americans who had the inferior desk, when I got back from maternity leave, they had me sitting looking at a wall. And I didn't even have a desk. I had a chair against the thing that was against the wall. And when I left that traffic center was the top traffic center in the company. And I was a bad mofo. I went from worst to first. And I did so much in a year that they gave me double the pay raise. I got a 7% pay raise when everybody else got 3%. Everybody else. And still motherfuckers was throwing shade. Right. It's like when your family try to continue to treat you like a child when you're an adult. Damn it, I'm grown. Exactly. What was it like birthing David Goggins? So, Jared, if we think that LeBron James will get you kicked out, David Goggins is higher than that. He actually lives in our area. In case y'all didn't know, we saw him running one day. That's where I live. Okay, got it. Okay. Anyway, that part. You talking about him? He running through our neighborhood. That's funny. Okay, anyway. So the point is this, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not playing this small anymore. There ain't no fucking options. Because now I know what it's attached to. When you grow up with that kind of trauma and pain, nobody, Bridget, don't waste your internet search. Nobody. I said it. Nobody to be talking about. A dysregulated person. That's who he is. Another dysregulated person. So here's the thing. I needed that. And I've been asking God, higher power in the universe, why am I playing this small? I swear I said David Goggins running through my neighborhood in Cincinnati. I read his book. You missed the point. Roman BC. I'm not, this is not about getting away from my trauma. Stick around, you'll actually find out what it's about. But that's not the conversation that we're having. That's not the conversation that we're having at all. So the point is, the moral of the story is this, ladies and gentlemen. I had a dysregulated existence simultaneously having a regulated existence. Those things happened so that people, yes, so just stick around. I'm actually talking about the brain, hence the neuroplasticity shirt. So those things happened so that when people start to say, Dr. Donna, you don't understand, you can't speak on that, you don't, yes, I do. I'm speaking from 1000% experience on a scale of 1 to 2. I'm actually speaking from experience. So when people say it's neurologically impossible, I can say you are wrong. Because that's what this is about. This is about me saying You need to study the brain, master the brain, teach others how to do the same so the people in the world will forever be changed. I'm saying the problem with humanity is it's neurological. I'm saying the problem with humanity is that people need to engage in neuroplasticity on a daily basis. People need to go to the hippocampus bank of neurons and talk to the dentate gyrus and make daily withdrawals of neurons to continue to learn, grow, and develop and create new neural pathways so that you can take the ordinary and make it extraordinary in your everyday life. And I've been playing this small because every time I try to assert myself, here comes somebody telling me, oh, you talking too loud. Oh, you an angry black woman. Oh, what school? Oh, and you want to minimize it. But I'm saying, where's yours? Where's yours? I know people that graduated from USC. Nola has a classmate that graduated from Harvard. She's still doing better than him. He got a job. So that part. So this hezzy is this very dysfunctional environment and background that I got. This hood rat experience, barely able to speak English correctly, dropping the endings off of words, coming from it. So what most people do is they lie about their background. Oh, my parents died, change your name, speak with a different. I'm gonna keep my Midwestern accent. It ain't going nowhere. And I'm going to tell my stories and we're not going to use it as trauma because I'm not a victim. I'm far from it. But I do need to acknowledge the fact that we are dysregulated as a human society. And we need to become regulated for the sake of the future of everybody. If we believe that the children are the future, then I believe that emotional regulation is how the children don't have to experience anything that the adults have done to each other or to themselves. That's what this is about. So there will be no more playing this small, Daisy. There will be none of that. All of you need to be talking about emotional regulation. And you need to send people to the live. When you talk about it, you need to send them to the live. And I never said that because when I was in church and they say bring somebody to church, I'm like, you're just trying to get some more tithes out of somebody. Nope. I'm doing this because I'm not small. I'm big. I'm Hunormic. I made a whole word for it. And I'm playing it small. So every day invite somebody to one of these lives. Every day. Every day. And part of it too, Daisy, is the more people come, the more people going to talk shit. More people going to talk shit to me because that's what it is. It's about shit. Now I got to concern myself with 50 motherfuckers questioning my everything. Now I got to concern myself with 100, with 1,000. But we're not doing that. We're not doing that. I'm not going to explain why I'm different. It's real leadership and it's emotional regulation over here. That's what's happening. I'm not going, because I've been forced to have to explain, well, I know you're accustomed to doing it this way, but here's why I'm not doing it this way. I know you're accustomed to listening to Huberman and Quick, and I'm not them. I got to explain all this shit. Huberman and Quick ain't on their live saying why they not Dr. Donna. They're not saying that. Brene Brown ain't saying why she ain't me. Eckhart Tolle, ain't none of them over there explaining why they not me, but motherfuckers come over here and I got to explain why I ain't them. Because I'm not. Look at me. I don't look like them. I don't sound like them. And most of them ain't got a fucking doctorate. They don't have it in education. So I got to do all this explaining. Why? Because of emotional dysregulation and cognitive bias and conformity bias and racism and sexism and everything else. Because an African-American woman ain't supposed to be telling y'all how your brain function. Not in this way. We saw it yesterday, the 2 ways that I'm supposed to be presenting this. So because I'm out of the box, I keep getting popped. Every time, you know that thing that as soon as you pop it out with the head, boom, it's whack-a-mole over here. Whack her ass down because she in the wrong lane. She doing the wrong shit. So let's question everything about it. It can be legit. It can be real. It can be because we're not used to seeing that. Good. David slew Goliath. It's a bunch of things. People are not used to seeing Nola show up at an appointment and then she doing big shit and they're like, what else can you do? It's time for something different. So no, I'm not going to be small. No, I'm not going to explain anything to anybody. I'm not going to justify my existence because what we're saying with that shit is I'm wrong and you're right. So let me convince you why I'm actually doing what I'm doing. I ain't convincing your dysregulated ass of shit. I'm right. I'm right. Do what I'm saying do. Because one thing, and everybody telling me my shit ain't shit and I can't do it, it ain't small. What ain't nobody been able to do is do it too. Ain't nobody been able to say I'm going to do daily personal accountability better than you. Ain't nobody challenged me. Challenge. Ain't nobody said, hat down. 365 days, Dr. Donna, I challenge you. I'm going to outdo you for 365 consecutive days. Ain't nobody said that. That's what I'm holding my hat on. My hair. That's what I'm doing. Right. It's documented. But I'm not going to do that either. I'm saying do me. Because for 52 years, I've had to do that and this. That's why I'm a bad mofo. I've had to do all your shit and my shit too. Because until I do your shit, you won't even believe me. So I got to have 3 degrees so you will listen to me. But it's people with high school GEDs. People listening to Candace Owens and she got a high school diploma. Why? Because she's saying what she's supposed to be saying based upon what she look like and what she sound like. Ain't nobody questioning that. But we're going to question me. Why? Because I'm once again in an industry that I ain't supposed to be in. That's what the questions are from. Who the fuck you think you are over here doing this? I'm not, I said that, Daisy. I'm not doing that either. I'm not, here's what, because see, that's making me small too, Daisy. That statement, and I did that already, and I appreciate what you're saying, but I'm not doing that. Don't nobody else have to justify why they doing what they doing. And you're giving the knowledge to the wrong people. Right. I'm not doing that. I'm supposed to tell you why I'm here. And if you need, I used to be like, and if you want to listen to my credentials, go to LinkedIn, go to my website, go, because I'm saying I'm credible. I ain't doing that. You dysregulated. You not credible. That's where we are. You're not credible, so I'm not doing that. Your dysregulated ass brain can't process this because what you're saying is Amy and Lala said you're not real, so prove to them that you're real. Fuck I am. Right. And it's not, and it ain't even a matter of I'm giving knowledge away. It's the programming says question her. Question her because she's not where she's supposed to be. You're not where you're supposed to be. You're not in HR. You're not in sales. You're not in CRA jobs. You're not woke. You're not coffee with cream, speaking like this, making everybody feel comfortable with your pentameter and your tonality. Charisma is 80% of the access of the podcaster. You could be the most knowledgeable person in the world, but if you lack charisma or being a good creator, they won't get far as a podcaster. I'm actually not a podcaster. I don't know where you're getting that from. That's still not the conversation that we're having. Let me explain to you the conversation that we're having. The conversation that we're having is that I said, why am I still playing? It's small. And so I had a cathartic moment on my 4 a.m. TikTok live, because this is my second live of the day. Okay, so I do 2 lives every day. So we're not talking about me being a podcaster. I am an educator. I have a doctorate in education. So see, now I have to explain this. I have a doctorate in education. And I am, no, that's not why she's successful either. That is not why she is successful. They needed somebody to replace Condoleezza Rice. That's why they picked her. Okay? They needed a new Condoleezza Rice. And she's there. She started out with a YouTube video in her living room talking back and forth like she was her parents. They then gave her some little bullshit nonprofit. Black Six showed up. And now she's creditable. So here you go. Third of the day. Thank you, Daisy. And I'm not here to talk about her. Okay? My point is that because a talking head needed to be presented, there was a casting. She got casted. It worked. That's what that is. It's all fodder. None of it is real. It's rhetoric at its highest level. It's not going to change anything. That's why it's so popular. Controversy sells because of the negativity bias that we're hardwired for in our brain and emotional dysregulation. It's extremely addictive because of its manufactured dopamine release. That's why it's still there and it's popular. So what's actually happening over here is you have to experience, so you have to experience natural. Okay, you gotta go. Shut the fuck up. See, I was trying to educate the person. Done. So that part. And I said I wasn't going to do that, but I was literally trying to educate that person. So see, Daisy, In that moment, now we're going back and forth talking about two other African American women. For what? To try to throw me off my square. The only book that I will be talking about is my book. Okay? That's that. I have not read that book. I will not read that book. I'm past reading books. I read. So here's what you can do. Martina Rep. I have 11 years worth of reading books. If you're on my YouTube channel right now, here's what you can do. You can go to Book Challenge. You can start in November of 2014. And you can watch. There's 500 and something book reviews there. 500 and something. So I have thoughts on those books that I read for 11 consecutive years. Those are my thoughts. Over here, my thoughts are about the 74 principles of real leadership and the theory of personal accountability and neuromobility, all things that I developed. So I will not be speaking on other people's things anymore unless it's as a reference point or I'm recommending books that I already read. So if you'd like to know my thoughts on the books that I read, feel free to go to my book challenge playlist. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Nothing. It connects to what I'm saying. No, that is incorrect. Yes, no. Nothing connects to what I'm saying. Nothing. There is not one other person alive that is teaching whole brain functionality to be high functioning in your day-to-day life. There is not one person with the kahunas to do it. So I know that your brain would like pattern recognition right now, and it wants to say that this is similar to. It's not. It's actually not. There isn't a person, a podcaster, a thought leader, none of them that alive that can do what I do. Not one. Not one. Go get them all. I will wear their asses out. Not one. So see, and the reason why I'm letting you stay here is because this is a perfect example, ladies and gentlemen. No one goes on Huberman's show and says, Huberman, you are like. No one goes to Jim Quick and says, Jim Quick, you are like. No one goes to Breanne Brown and says, you are like. No one goes to Brian Tracy and say, you are like Jack Welch. No one goes to them and say that because they fit the description of the thing that they are talking about. So they don't have to justify. They never had to because they picked something that was comfortable for them. They picked something that would ensure success because they are not doing what they actually came here to do. They're doing what's popular and what's fun for them and what's easy. They have an elevator existence. And you all are not accustomed to people actually doing things out of the box, doing something extraordinary, didn't make any risk taking. And when you see that, you don't like it until you do. People thought Steve Jobs was crazy when he said a computer in every home. And now no one remembers that he said that. But there is a computer in every home. When he developed a touchscreen, they said people aren't going to touch the screen. He said, don't get used to it, and you have. So get accustomed to something different. Embrace diversity is one of the 74 principles of real leadership, and that's what you can do over here. So see, Daisy, this is a perfect example of why. So I have one person that wants to tell me about podcasting. So what happens is, and maybe I will have to do this differently, or maybe this will switch. What happens is people were programmed to believe that African American women are inferior. Period. Why? Because we actually are superior. I didn't say that you were disagreeing with me. So again, because of what you perceive as you've been programmed to believe that because I gave you a different tone and a different message, that now I'm saying we're arguing. Programming. So that's what I'm also up against. That's why everything seems small, because I haven't been blessed off by people that said I'm not small. So that's why people end up entering into Faustian bargains, because they want the message out there. And if you get, like back in the day, people would have a popular celebrity, Diana Ross, introduced the Jackson 5, so they would have instant credibility. So that's what people want. People want me to partner with somebody more powerful or perceived powerful and smarter than me. So then I have credibility and then you'll listen to me. And I'm saying, no, you're just going to listen to me because I'm talking about everyday life, becoming extraordinary. So when you have that much conformity bias and confirmation bias, neurologically, Martinet 7557, your brain is doing this and you don't even recognize it. That's what I'm here to educate people on. So you actually stop having the basal ganglia use pattern recognition to say this plus this equals that. This must be what she's doing, because the brain likes making shortcuts, because then it can just get to things more efficiently without neurological effort. And so that's why the first person said, well, this is a podcast. So that's what Candace Owens doing, because they assume that I don't know what I'm talking about. When I was there in the beginning, when she first started, nobody remembers that, but I do. That part. Stacy said, I have spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on education, literally, and who knew that my life would be changed for as little as $10 a month? Winner, winner, chicken dinner. I did. That's why I made it affordable. That's why. And no one can process that. So affordability is not something that I wanted people to be thinking about. Well, damn, do I do my real leader stuff, my Neuro Reps, or do I pay my car note? No. That I don't want you making those jokes. Do we eat or do we do our Neuro Rep? I think that's why I don't have friends, because I don't conform. Bridget said, I'm listening to you because you that one, that bad motherfucker that I want to be. Exactly. And so because of all of these things that I recognize that I'm up against, it's a fight. Every time I get to a new situation, I understand people be like, who are you? Or, did you bring the coffee? No, I'm actually facilitating the meeting. So I didn't bring coffee. Matter of fact, you can go get me some coffee. That's how that can happen. So all of those things are taking place, and I recognize that. But I'm not going to continue to explain myself and justify my existence for some dysregulated people who created a system that doesn't work to my advantage. I don't participate in things that put me in a disadvantaged situation. So that's what this is. You are an African-American woman. You need to explain why you're here. You're an African-American woman, so you only know this. You're an African-American woman, so how could you be the smartest person in the room? Because I am. You're an African-American woman. You got a t-shirt on with some fake diamond earrings and some synthetic hair. So that means you live in this zip code. You live at this price point. You can only know about this, and this, because that's what you're talking about today, right now. But I have 12,400 and something YouTube videos. In fact, I have, Anola, if you could look it up, I think I got 210, 200, or Virginia, you might know because you're doing business 101. 240, it might be 240 60-second strategies, it might be 210 business 101 short videos, 15, about 8 to 20 seconds, 210 different topics about actually operating businesses, things that you need to be considering if you're in business, or if you're starting a business, or if your business is going left. That's what those blue, and the reason why those videos are blue is because IBM is called Big Blue, and they started out doing cash registers and typewriters, and then they got into computers. Very few people know that, but I read the book, and so that's why it's blue, business blue. And so all those videos are blue, and they're there for you to know about business. I have videos about, at one point I was reviewing apps. What's Apps Wednesday, way back like 8-9 years ago. Here's the app that I'm reviewing for the day. So what happens is I'm only supposed to be in this one thing. And I'm not. I'm not supposed to be able to tell you got an IMDb and I was in a feature length film and I was in Born 5 standing next to Matt Damon, because I'm not supposed to have that experience. And at 212 business videos for Business 101, 212 different topics that have nothing to do with this is how I'm going to tell you how to get it done in 10 minutes. I'm going to tell you how to make $1 million in an hour. I'm going to tell you how to have a 4-hour work week. No, actual bits of business information that cause you to think. You are there. Yes, there are 200 plus Business 101 videos, short and sweet, and they make me think and think hard. Exactly. So that came from my brain. I have 138, 139 playlists, 12,400 and something YouTube videos. That part. And now I have to explain that to somebody. People want to talk to me about being an influencer with followers. I'm an influencer with a motherfucking bunch of content. We are not the same. We are not the same. I asked y'all what y'all wanted to talk about in the chat as subscribers, but I don't have videos talking about, okay, what else y'all want me to talk about? What else y'all want me? Tell me a topic and then we'll look at it and see if we want to talk about it. As soon as you hear that, they done ran out of topics, and the people that work for them done ran out of topics. And that's why they asking y'all for topics, because that working memory ain't working. Now they need new topics. Are they going to give y'all a percentage of the video money if you give them a topic and they talk about it? They're going to run y'all some YouTube money for that? Some TikTok money? No. Hell no. They're going to give you a shout out and that's it. And they might send you a fucking raggedy ass t-shirt for your idea that you willingly gave to them. But they're the expert. They're the thought leader. They're the podcaster. That's why they have podcasts with guests on the shows. If I had a podcast, I wouldn't need no guests. I could talk for an hour every damn day. I don't need no expert coming. I'm the fucking expert. They not like me. And people pay to be on those shows so they could tell you about their books, so they could sell shit. And there's a swap. How many followers you got? Okay, cool. If somebody's big enough, they make it to the Instagram page. If not, then they just make it. They make it to your Instagram page. It's a whole gig and grift behind the scenes. By the time y'all see that shit, so no, I will not be participating in any of that. I'm the baddest motherfucker walking the face of planet Earth, and I'm not playing it small because I'm Dee Dee from Glendale between 12th and 14th. Because I went to Eastern Michigan University. I also went to Cass Tech High School, and we got 8 people in the NFL right now. Diana Ross, Lily Tomlin, Lonnie Love, Big Sean, all went to Cass Tech High School as well. I went to Eastern Michigan University. Earl Boykins is one of the shortest people that ever made it to the NFL. Charlie Batch. We got somebody from Eastern right now in the NFL. 10 people in the NFL. That part. I went to 2 D2 schools, Jacksonville State University and Anniston, Alabama. Well, a little bit past Anniston, and I went to Nova Southeastern University, and they're doing well. They are in their D2-ness. They are championships in multiple. They have championships in multiple sports. That part. So when people want to question what I'm doing, what you doing? Where you at? Where's yours? What you doing with that Ivy League degree? Because I'm dead making and risk taking. What you doing with that PhD since we want to say I got an EDD? Everybody always got a reason to minimize what the fuck I'm doing, but I'm doing way more with way less. Really good friend of mine went to Eastern Michigan. There you go. So I'm doing way more with this EDD than a motherfucker with a PhD from Harvard ever did. They still in the lab with a pen and a pad. I'm out here in these everyday streets teaching neuroplasticity. We are not the same. And I'm going to walk in that. But see, in two times, Daisy, and I'm just showing you because you asked, and I asked too, and I'm not calling you out. But in 2 instances, I already had to justify my existence because some dysregulated motherfuckers said, they go to threat right there. There go the problem. Don't trust that person right there. They don't know a lot about a lot. Then why the fuck y'all always calling asking us to rescue from holes that you motherfuckers willingly jumped in? Why we always got to solve shit? You want shit organized, you got to go find a Miss Brenda Jones to fix it. If we not shit, leave us alone. So no, and I've been programmed that I got to answer and I got to justify because of my job in the military and all this other shit when I am the shit. And what I found out yesterday in the car is I said, do it then. If my shit ain't shit and it was easy to do, replicate it. I'll wait. Replicate it. Go make 12,400 and whatever individual videos. Go live every single day. College professors don't lecture every day. I'm 761 days in on hour or more. And now since September the 6th, I'm doing 2 lectures. Pastors at churches that have 3 services on Sunday preach the same sermon 3 times. My live ain't even the same. TikTok and YouTube ain't even the same live. They not like me. Every day. Every day. 3 o'clock in the morning. I know, and because I don't have to do Real Leader Brain anymore. Yesterday I said, ooh, I'm sleeping in tomorrow. I don't have to do Real Leader Brain no more. Y'all want to know what sleeping in was? Till 3:30. She laughed. And I actually got up at 2:30 because I need to finish taking those tests to get 100 so I can study and pass my neuroscience final. So I've actually been up since 2:27. That part. Every day. No holidays, no vacations, no days off. Posting from your phone every day. Who doing that? Who doing that? So I'm going to walk in that. But I couldn't figure out why I couldn't walk in that. And it's because of where I had to walk from. I had to walk from 2024 Glendale between 12th and 14th. I had to do that every day. I had to get on a bus. I had to do a lot to become me. And the unmitigated gall of people to question whether I should be here. What the fuck are you doing here? How did you get in my space? Fuck am I in yours? You bitch, you in mine. You in my galaxy. How did you get here? How you get here in my shit? That's how I see that. I've had to tell several white people, you in my neighborhood, bitch. I've been here. You just got here. Don't get it twisted. That part. And you just got here. Where you been? How come it took you this long to get over here? You must have had some trip ups somewhere. You knew a song was coming. Because my brain is 95% song lyrics. That part. What book? Don't buy my book. Take that money and subscribe on TikTok. Don't buy my book. Go subscribe so you can get your Neuro Reps in. That's what you could do. That's the best thing you could do. If you ain't got a lot of time, go subscribe on Instagram because those are 60-second Neuro Reps over there. That part. So I promise all of you, I will not be playing this small anymore because that is a disservice to you all who have decided that you are becoming real leaders. There will be no more small. There will be no more itsy bitsy, teeny weeny, tiny. No, not at all. So I'm busting through another ceiling. The galaxy, the what is it? The aposcopic pressure of the earth when you break through the atmosphere. That part. That's what's happening. So people will not be using I did not pick my parents and my upbringing against me. You will not be using my skin complexion and my gender against me and my schools against me. Because one thing that I am is emotionally regulated. One thing that I have been able to do is makes the impossible possible is one of the 74 principles of real leadership on purpose, because it does. Because if you looked at my beginning, you wouldn't have been able to trace the steps to say, yeah, when she get 52, she go, no, you wouldn't have. No, you wouldn't have. The GOAT. You wouldn't have been able to do it. And I know a lot about a lot, but I'm still learning. And I'm okay when I don't know something. Somebody tell me something on live. I'm like, shit, I didn't know that. Let me write that down. I have played it small my whole life. Thank you, Dr. Donna. We're not playing it small anymore. And this isn't a matter of taking something else over. The only thing you're going to take over is your life. That's it. You're going to study the brain, master the brain, and teach others how to do the same. So the people in the world will forever be changed in our everyday lives. So your everyday becomes extraordinary. Nola didn't know that she could finish what she started. 2,600 projects later, not pieces of furniture and bouquet, 2,600 projects where she has had as much as 46 things at one appointment. That's a lot with somebody with 3 mental illnesses. So I'm like that. So I'm going to override by the end of December 31st of this calendar year, because I already started my new year. This has been happening for 52 years. So I'm not going to wake up tomorrow and it's going to be gone. But I guarantee you by December 31st of this here year, it's going to be gone. Because we got more than 21 days left in the month. And that's how you get it cemented in the basal ganglia. So the next 8 days, I'm going to be creating a neural pathway. And then from there, I'm going to just be reaffirming it and confirming it. Because I will not be playing it small. Ever, never, ever again. And go ahead and drink water. So tomorrow we will talk about visualizing your goals. But today, this needed to be said. It needed to be said. I definitely have, Stacy. I've got to shine through. That's what this is about. That's what this is about. So no, I want to, and it's not that I was ashamed. I just didn't know what was stopping it. Because I'm feeling that hezzy, as Jared calls it. But I'm like, what is this hesitation about? And it's like every time you do something new, somebody is coming for you. Because you're not supposed to be in that room. You're not supposed to be in the room. That's how that is. Or how about we all just let everybody become extraordinary and see what happens? Because me being in the room didn't take a spot from nobody else. It didn't. And it shouldn't be limited to this. Because here's how I see this. 5 years in anything is enough for you to move on and learn how to do something else. They say 10 from Malcolm Gladwell, outliers, you can get it done in 5. 5 years and move on. 5 years and move on. The problem is people stay in shit too long. And then the brain gets atrophied and then now they mad because the whole shit switched. But you weren't supposed to be there for 30 years. You weren't supposed to be there for 40 years. You're supposed to get the lesson and move on. Get the information, get the lesson, get the neural path, study it, master it, move on. Study it, master it, move on. You get the award, you get the certificate, you get the degree, you move on. You don't have to stay there. But Amy and Lala like it there. Because finally you're the one on top. You're the queen pin, you're the king pin. No, move. Don't nobody want to be a neophyte again. A novice. I'm a neophyte and a novice when it comes to studying neuroscience. But what I'm not a neophyte in is the 74 principles of real leadership because I built them one at a time. I'm not in leadership. Ain't a realer leader in the world than me. It's real leadership. It's neuropability. That's neurogenesis and neuroplasticity plus personal accountability. When you do that every single day, you tap into your bad mofo-ness. Yours. This isn't a competition. And if it is, it's you versus you, and that's it. And nobody else. We do not have to play it small. We're playing it small so people can feel comfortable. Nobody is afraid of things that are small, unless it's a mouse or a rat, something like that. But overall, nobody's like, oh my God, look at this 2.5-year-old toddler coming. I'm scared. Nobody's like, oh no, it's a smart car, run. You're not scared of small things. That's why everybody is playing it small. Because then that's comfortable. Even when people think, I told y'all, I've been in the doggone room with doggone Oscar winning celebrities and billionaires playing it small. They got this one thing and everything else they insecure and unsure about. And then they come on stage, ha, 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 and then back down to their own. That's why they travel with so many people, big ass retinues to fluff them up and puff them up. Hey, got your own hype man and everything else. Because they are small too. That's the problem. Because why? Because the left and right amygdalae are small. They weigh grams in a brain that weighs 2 to 3 pounds. Grams when something weighs 2 to 3 pounds. Everybody is playing it small. Stay safe, stay small, stay stuck. And we're not doing that no more. We're not doing that no more. So I'm busting through the door to still in the wall, whatever it is, because I'm tired of it. We're not going to use my school to say, oh, what are you doing? Oh, Eastern Michigan. Well, I went to USC. I went to Harvard. I don't give a fuck. And what you doing with that? Where you work at? Oh, you got a job. Okay, we're done. We're not the same. I have a theory of personal accountability and 74 principles of real leadership. I'm working on my personal legend and I'm changing humanity, and you making sure chips get on the truck. We are not the same. We are not the same. Well, I run a supply chain. I already did that. I was in my late 20s, early 30s running a whole fucking supply chain. That ain't shit either. You still running the supply chain? The chain ain't supplied yet? That part. So I'm a work in progress, just like you are a work in progress. And I guarantee you, God willing, higher power in the universe, by the end of December, this ain't going to be a thing for me. I'm not going to be like, well, I don't want you telling everybody. No, I want you telling everybody. You need to tell everybody, because everybody is small and everybody is dysregulated. This is not motivation. This is true knowledge. Exactly. And that's what the K in pink is for. It's knowledgeable. I got there are principles of real leadership under knowledgeable. Under knowledgeable. Imagine that. So, Bridget, when you talk back to your BFF, your best friend, go ahead and tell him to go look at the 74 principles of real leadership and read them. See if that makes sense. See if any of those make sense. Wouldn't you like to handle conflict when it occurs? Priceless. Exactly. And that's what I know to be true now. So there will be no small. There will be no schmediums over here or nothing else. It is Gallic Spirit Hunormic, because now I know where the small is coming from. I know where the small is coming from. Play it small. You lived in the hood. You had 5 outfits for your school clothes and all that. All that shit is supposed to still make you feel bad. I got 3 closets with clothes in it now. Why am I still feeling bad for that? Make me feel bad because my hair fell out. I ain't no control over that shit. That shit is hereditary. Always identifying what's wrong, but very few people have ever identified what's right. Very few people have said, you the baddest motherfucker. I got one friend of all my friends that said, I think you brilliant. Everybody, you doing too much. You know what I mean? I am too much for y'all, because this shit is small and I'm itchy in smalls. I'm allergic to small. I break out in hives when it's small. So that won't happen anymore. So between my offspring who planted the seed and then the person today who made me angry enough, rageful enough to almost get kicked off of TikTok, breakthrough. Breakthrough is how I see that. I broke through. I needed a big ass excavator to go dig that shit up, because it was buried. It was like, okay, what happened? Okay, what happened? No. That's the problem. It's because too much happened. Too much went left. And it was beyond throw me off my square. It was never supposed to be there. It was never supposed to be there, but it's not going to be there for the future. I can't go to my grave allowing me to be small in order for somebody to be comfortable and let somebody else get SA'd. Let somebody else be addicted to something that's causing problems in their household. We don't need to do that. It's real simple. Everybody regulate their emotions. Everybody. Sit Amy and Lala's asses down and regulate them. Turn your Becky into a Brenda Jones. And watch the world change. So this is for everybody, because it's everyday leadership for everyday life. And before I was saying, well, no, you just go over there. No, bring your ass back over here and get regulated. Because that's the other thing. I'm like, well, if you going, you going. Get your motherfucking ass back over here and get regulated. Why am I going to let you go off and cause more dysregulation? That ain't good. That's not good for nobody, wherever you are. I'll let you go off. You was over here. Now you over there. You need to come back and get regulated. Because you going to cause problems for somebody in the future with your dysregulation. I'm disrupting the narrative. Yes. Can't say that. I'm about to get. I'm dismantling it. That's what I will say. I'm dismantling the narrative because it's absurd. And it's where it's coming from neurologically. It's coming from the losing ass limbic system. It's coming from the left and right amygdala. It's coming from a dysregulated space. And it has to stop. Because everybody is frustrated. There is not a human being alive that's not frustrated with another human being, one or more. Because their twins are impacting my twins. That's how everybody sees it. But nobody sees it as, let me regulate my twins. My twins, as I told people in Nola School, her teachers and the principal, everybody, you're not going to have a problem out of this one. You have a problem out of her, call me. But I'm not going to have a problem out of you. Because if she got a problem with you, she going to call me too. And I'm going to be back up here for your ass too. So let's be clear. I'm an equal opportunity holder. People are accountable for her. Everybody going to do their part. We clear? Everybody clear? Principal, dean, teachers, we all clear. Nola, okay, cool. We ain't going to have no problems. And if we do, I'm the problem solver. I'm going to come and fix it. And we ain't going to have no problems out of nobody no more. That's how that's going to go. And I have had to hold principals accountable and teachers and her. Yes, that part. Sure did. Her fourth grade teacher tried to do so. I forgot what she did. She said some dumb shit to me. I sent her a note on Cartier paper. Yes, it's a note for you. Here you go. It's Cartier. I know you probably don't know what that is, but here you go. It's a Cartier note for you. Yes. It's nice, thick ass paper stock with a beautiful red Cartier envelope. Yes, with the gold seal on it. Take this note to your teacher to let her know who she's talking to. It's funny. Anyway, that part. Every now and then I'll pull something like that out of my sleeve. Just every now and then. But other than that, I'm an everyday person for everyday life. But yeah, that part. And they were actually gifts. We went to a very hoity-toity event, and that was in our gift. One of the things that was in our gift bags. You know how you go to the Oscars and they have gift bags. When you start sitting at tables, that's $20, $30, $40, $50, $60, $100,000. Then there are gift bags for you that you take as part of your leaving thing. That part. So yeah. So people, oh, she's so ghetto. Really? Why do I eat with a fork and knife on my meals? That part. I can eat. I know I can eat with my hands, but most of the time I have to have a fork and knife, even at Whole Foods. I'm trying to cut. They're not that sturdy, but I still use them. So that part. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we will not be playing it small. I will not be playing it small. You need to tell everybody you know about real leadership. Whew. And that felt different. You need to tell everybody you know about real leadership. Everybody that you come in contact with. It's not a secret. You have to stand 10 toes down where your kid is concerned, but not for the shit the kids bring. Right. Exactly. So that part. So I am extraordinary. And I know I say I'm the baddest motherfucker walking the face of planet Earth, but I couldn't figure out what was stopping it completely. It was this. And now I know. And so now you know. So we all know. So we're not going to let our past, we cannot choose our parents, we cannot choose our family, we cannot choose where we were born, we cannot choose where we live until we become an adult or we run away from home. And then it is our choice at that point. We cannot choose the complexion that we are. We cannot choose the gender that we came here. Some things can be reassigned and re-identified, but for the most part, I've decided I'm not doing that. Only thing that's fake on me is these earrings and this hair. That's it. Everything else, 1973, all the original parts. But I will not be treated inferiorly for someone else to have superiority complex, for someone else to feel safe, for someone else, because the narrative doesn't match. Oh, I know you because you, and then I say something else, and now you over here like, we're having a conversation with somebody, I forgot who it was, and I started talking about Moore's Law. We're talking about technology because the person was doing something with technology. And Moore's Law is Say's law is the sales. Moore's Law is the every 18 months that technology improves itself. And I'm over here with Nola's appointment. You don't think that the person that's coming to assist somebody else build something is talking about the 18 months cycle for technology? Those things. Talking to engineers, I'm talking about P versus NP. It still hasn't been solved. And Bridget said, I tell people all the time, you choose your friends and not your family. Exactly. And sometimes your friends can be just as bad. So I will not be explaining myself. I'm going to prune that. There are people who don't, you say stuff to them, and because they fit the description, and that's the other thing. There are people who fit the description for things, and no one questions it until they start to do something different. So if you're an athlete and you start a business, they're going to be like, where is your business partner at? Because I don't want to talk to you because you're the dumb athlete. So it still happens. As soon as you do something that your description doesn't match, people will question you like, yeah, it's the doggone you sitting in front of Congress, or it's where was you on the night of the 17th? As soon as you step out of that conformity bias, and no one should be in it. You shouldn't fit the description because that's not what you were born to do. So it doesn't matter. I forgot which celebrity, Jennifer, whatever, somebody that was an actress is wanted to do this family-friendly clothes and diapers and stuff. Jennifer Love Hewitt, somebody. And everybody questioned her. Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? You can't do this. Why are you doing that? You can't. No, you're over here. You're in that box. What you doing over here? You don't belong in this box. And so then people kind of just stay in that one box. And I've said this. Why play in the sandbox? Why play in the box why play in the sandbox when the world can be your playground? So you're not going to put me in a box. You're going to have me stuck somewhere that's doing something I don't want to do because that's what makes everybody else comfortable. Fuck you and your comfort, Amy and Lala. Because that's what we're doing. We're walking around appeasing, fight, flight, and freezing for 2 pieces of brain tissue that weigh grams. That's what's actually happening. That's what's happening. And a brain that's not wired for positivity bias. A brain that's wired for neurotoxicity instead of neural clarity. So that's why I'm not doing it, because now I know why it's happening, so I'm not doing it. That's not what's happening. So before we go, what was your everyday flex yesterday? What was your brain conversation yesterday? What did you learn today? And what did you learn about yourself? And drink water. And we will do visualize your goals tomorrow. Right. Nobody puts baby in the corner. Exactly. And I asked what was your favorite movie from the 80s. Somebody could have put Dirty Dancing, but mine is 9 to 5. And I looked up Grease, but that was 1978. I used to have the Grease soundtrack CD that I would sing in the car. We go together like lemma ding it dong. Man forever like she want hit the boom boom. Change it pop. Somebody snaking you, Danny. Keep talking, whoa, keep talking. Stranded at the drive-in, branded a fool. What will they say Monday at school? Sandy. Yep, that's in my top 5. Why you left me, Sandy, my darling. It hurts me real bad. All right, Regina said, everyday flex, visited my brother and checking on him. Grease Lightning is my favorite. Go Grease Lightning. Go Grease Lightning. Go Grease. Fuel injection. All right, you like the card too. All right. It was supreme. Dun, dun. Grease Lightning. Go, 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 go. Go Grease Lightning. All right. Stacey said, I learned about myself that I didn't get a job because I was emotionally dysregulated. and let myself feel inferior to people that had less experience and knowledge than me. The narrative is there for people to do that too, Stacy. So some of that is on the narrative that was created by the dysregulated people. Everyday Flex Monique said, I tackled some editing. Okay. I tackled some editing and made work ready for upload that's been sitting in drafts for a month. Oh wow, that's a huge flex. That's a Hunormic everyday flex. Stacy said, my brain conversation was with a good friend about facing conflict when it occurs. I love Greece. Look at that. I'm about to say, Nola said, my everyday flex was putting together that kid loft bed. Woo, that kid loft bed. Y'all, it was flat. It came in the size of a box for what is it? Upholstered bed. And it ended up being a toddler bed with a loft, with a ladder and a bookcase and a shelf and a window. That part. Jared said everyday flex was practicing my Spanish for 30 minutes. Muy buenos. Regina said brain conversation was with chat about John Hasworth, who confused with the America libertine politician named John Halston. Okay, who you confused with? Got it. And now, because I got this interfering with my shirt. Everyday flex was Bridget. He was getting my granddaughter to do the 10 seconds. She's so emotional. She's a Cancer. Got it. Say less. Nolan said, oh yeah, we did just drink water. Got it. My brain conversation was with you about handling frustrations at appointments. Look at me trying to see the black on my shirt so I can read this. Okay. Monique said, I learned, hold up. We got to position this so I can see it all. Okay. I learned about myself that I have allowed opportunities to bypass me due to not advocating for myself with proper effective communications for advocating for myself. Keep going. Laugh out. Yep. All right. Jared, are you practicing Spanish face-to-face or online? I'm curious. Jared, you see that question from Regina? He doing a class because they got live stuff. Stacy said, my everyday flex was keeping my word to myself and completing tasks that I had on my daily checklist. Okay, go ahead. Bridget said, I put together one of those loft beds together. It was full size for my grandbabies. Yes. Daisy said, my brain flex yesterday was dealing with the 16-degree temperature yesterday. Regina Jerry said, online twice a month. Now, I will say, I almost texted y'all because y'all sent some stuff here that we're going to send back. It was 47 degrees for a very long time yesterday. So we're going to send that back to y'all. I don't know how I made it all the way over here, but we're not supposed to have those temperatures till next month. So, Regina said, I learned you are not going to play it small anymore. Regina, if you was on that first live on TikTok, them wasn't love taps. I was like, TikTok, like, listen, you gonna get off in 1 minute or you ain't never gonna go live and you gonna be banned. And it was in capital letters. You're gonna be banned from going live. Like, what am I saying that I'm about to get banned? Stacy said, I learned the importance of not living small. Being extraordinary is my birthright. Yes. And for the people who was on that live, I don't really feel like I should have been banned. Like, blocked for maybe a month or two, but banned? Was I at band level? My brain convo was with the grand, with emotional regulation and thinking before speaking. Nah, keep it. Ha, it was 47. Send it back ASAP. No, that was the beginning temperature. We got up to 61. It was the morning temperature. That was the low. The high was 61. I didn't think it was that bad, y'all that attended this morning. I didn't think I was banned for life. No lives ever again. No, Regina. That TikTok ain't going to be available. They won't let me download it or nothing. I learned the captain was in rare form this morning. Was she? Okay. All right, bet. I didn't think it was that bad. Because, Would you say that on TikTok? I don't know. I don't know what I said. Whatever I said, they was mad as shit. I didn't use the N word or none of that. None of the stuff I thought. But whatever the fuck it was, they was like, get off live right now, or you got a minute, or you gonna get banned for life. End this live in a minute. You got 60 seconds to end this live. And I almost kept going. But then I thought about y'all, so I got off. I learned that your body reacts with emotions when you speak your truth with convictions. I got to witness vulnerability. Thank you for sharing. My pleasure. What I learned today, Daisy said, was that I need to be more visual with my goals. Bridget said, not for life, but you know that they get afraid when African American women get angry. Yeah, I got it. So I told the truth. Yeah. So we will take, I know you will take it. I literally started to take a picture of it, Jared. I was like, nah, I'm over here laughing at him. Y'all talking about 16 and 50 degrees. And I got outside. I said, wait, ho. How did old man Winter get our address? What the hell is this? I had to put my headband. I wear a headband muff. I had to put my gloves on. I had to put my vest on. I was like, what in the hell? What the heliante? Why? It's this January weather. Dr. Donna was using positive words to get ahead. Everyday flex is me understanding and finishing my classes. All right. I have one more test to take. Then I will be at 100% on all my tests, and I will be spending the rest of the month studying. Whew, it's going to take divine intervention and a whole bunch of, I got so confused at one point. I was like, I don't even know how I'm going to study for this test. I got a method. I'm like, I got 3 times to pass this final. At least you were ready. Yes. Because, it's just because it's usually at the end of January. Our winter is literally like the end of January to the beginning of March. It's about 6 to 8 weeks of cold and all of that. So I wasn't ready. It was an anomaly. We back in the 50s and the 60s again. So it's like, fall-like temperatures for y'all. Little less than fall. So the point is that anger means something needs to change. I know where the line is now on TikTok if I don't want to get banned all the way. I didn't know you could be banned forever having a live again. I thought you just get banned for a minute. So I went above you know me, go above and beyond. There's one of the 74 principles of real leadership. I can't do nothing half-ass. If I'm getting kicked out. Now what y'all can understand though is when I said back in the day, when they carried me out of that club, and because I didn't have all of this emotional regulation that I have now. So y'all can imagine it did take 3 bouncers holding me like a log from the 3rd floor of the club all the way down all those stairs. And I still got my arms loose and everything. They like, bam, threw me in the street. I stood back up again. And another thing. That part. Stacy said, I am so grateful that you take your time to respond to each one of us individually. I did not always get this at my level of school. My pleasure. I would take 47 degrees. It's been snowing for 2 days, under 30%. Whew, y'all are just, man. I learned that I feel sorry for y'all. I really do. Because I feel like, and when I was cold, I used to say, this is going against my 8th Amendment rights. This is cruel and unusual punishment. This right here, snow is a 4-letter word, and we shouldn't have to use it. Regina said, I learned that look out world. Dr. Donna is going above and beyond. Hunormic. Look out world. Jared said, all day, Daisy. Bridget said, I was so regulated with my granddaughter yesterday. I could really see your teachings helping me regulate, especially her. I know, because you had already said, if this is a 10-year-old, you already said she wasn't going to be able to come back over your house no more. She was on the no-fly list. She was on the no Granny B list. I remember that. And then Lola said, I know how to dress for the weather. Yes. And I used to know how to do that too. In fact, I still have a pack of those heaters. Because remember I said my mother used to buy me those heaters for my gloves when I was catching the bus. Because these 2 fingers, and just in case I needed, you break them open, little packs, and then they warm up. You put them in your gloves, keep your hands warm. I used to have to wrap my whole fingers around them when I was catching a bus in high school. Okay, so that part, ladies and gentlemen. So there is a level of you can't ever get back on TikTok if you go live and you go ham and burger. So now I know where that line is. Regina, they usually don't let me download the live. So it was quick. It was 30 minutes or less that I had to go. But that part. So there is a level beyond just getting blocked or banned or, shadow banned for a week or two. Hey, now I can tell people, listen, but was you about to get banned? But was you about to get banned? From never being able to go live ever again in all caps. Then you're not like that. You're not disruptive. You're not you doing small potatoes. Oh, a week. That's nothing. Nothing at all. I tell you, I'm all in. You can get on, you just can't go live. Imagine, going through menopause with 16 degrees temperatures and can't take a layer. Ooh, I forgot about that, Daisy. Dang, I forgot about that part. That would be bad. That would be bad because I will take a layer off quick, fast, and in a hurry. That's why I can get this tattoo on my head so I can get out of these wigs. Okay, so yes, I could still keep my account and everything, but I was not gonna be able to go live. So I thought about y'all and the work, and I was like, don't let Amy and Lala get you caught up to the point. And that's why I know I was still rational, because I was like, I gotta go. All right, and then I'll be back, and we got the lesson. So today, your Neuro Rep is, because we're gonna do visualize your goal tomorrow. Today, your Neuro Rep is to see where you are playing it small and go big today. Let me write that down because this was not to see one area where you are playing it small and you are going to go Hunormic in that one area. You have to wait for that cool down, Daisy. Yeah, that part. Okay, so I believe this is a very effective live. Thank you very much. My phone probably got no percentage left because I didn't have time. Yeah, we had 19%, so let me go before my phone lets us go. God willing, higher power, and the universe, I will be back tomorrow. Tell everybody you know about the principles of real leadership and emotional regulation. Bring a friend, invite somebody, send them the link, tell them this is where they need to be so that they can become extraordinary. We can go from dysregulated to regulated, from ordinary to extraordinary in our everyday lives. You said I got to go now. Bye. As I was reading the band notice. Oh, y'all saw the band notice too? I didn't realize y'all saw the band notice. So it showed up for me first. I didn't realize y'all saw it. That's interesting. Yeah, I didn't realize that y'all saw it too. Because some things they show me that only I see. Okay, well, now y'all know. There we go. Okay, so my phone is about to be gone. I got to charge it. The TikTok live, my phone got to get all the way back up because then I got to download it. So it's not going to be up. Normally it's there by 7:30. It could have been a troll. Are y'all serious? That shit was a troll. Now I'm pissed. Now I'm really pissed. No, it was TikTok. Okay. I thought it was TikTok. Anyway, I'm glad it happened because now we're not playing it small. So that part worked. So see, you seen that happen before? Okay, Jared, got it. Well, now we know. Now we know. So next time I will look because it had a countdown clock too. That's the only reason why. But it's all good because we got what we needed out of it. And I'm itching damn perimenopause with this dog. I won't use anything because my back scratching brush is over there. Anyway, so the point is, I'm glad it was there because it gave me a night. I can check with them. I can ask them about it too. And you know what? You might have been right, Jared, because when I got off the live, they were telling me that I had all these good wins and everything. So y'all still got the lesson. Right, and the blessing. So we're not playing it small. Thank you. I appreciate everybody and all the work that you do every single day. Every time, I promise you, I want to respond so bad. And I'm like, you can't do this over time. It's going to just get bigger. So know that that heart is actually coming from my heart. When you see it, I read it. I went, oh, this is so adorable. I'm like, but I can say that. I'm like, no, get to the next person. Stop. So that heart means everything. Big, giant, Hunormic heart when you get that from me. Okay, you all go off. You know what your lesson is. Again, my phone got a charge, and then I will start putting those things up there. I thank you so much for valuing and appreciating this work that I have put in. Right. Thank you for that, Bridget. So if I do, yeah, the person you said to are screaming at them. Right. If I can, then Regina, I will put it in there and y'all can see it if that is the case. But I have had lives where I got a notification and a strike. You know what? I didn't see a strike, but I had to get out and come back in. Anyway, I will put it in there and then I will message you, Regina, and let you know if it was or it wasn't, because I should still be able to download it and upload it if it was not an actual strike. Okay, so you all go off and be extraordinary. Already start think about what your thing is that's small that you're gonna make Hunormic, and we're gonna go from there. And God willing, higher power in the universe. Welcome to the new people. And the new people, you actually need to go to TikTok to subscribe. If you need to do short 60 seconds or less Neuro Reps, they're 60 seconds. That's the warm up. Go on Instagram and subscribe over there. Everything is $9.99. Peace and love. Got it. And real leadership on top of that, with a little bit of emotional regulation to you all. And make sure you subscribe over here so you can get the notifications when I go live every single day. See, I did it. All right, you all go off and have a great day. Take care. Adios.